Hey guys, today we are going to be discussing the reality of credit cards. Yes, I do think it is possible to have a credit card and manage it properly, but statistics and reality tells me that not everybody is doing this. In fact, most people are not. I know that some of you probably have credit cards and you probably manage it fine. That's great. You are not the one I'm talking to right now. The person I'm talking to is the one that constantly has monthly balances and is getting out of control with their debt. Truly, I believe in my heart that the little man can win. But I do not believe that the little man or the average American is going to beat a credit card company at their own game. These companies are multi-million dollar, sometimes even billion-dollar firms. There's a reason they're that successful, and it's not because people are using credit cards properly. They're making money off of interest, people that are not paying off their monthly balance. You're not going to beat a company that has billions of dollars and an entire team dedicated to how do I get inside your head. You're not going to beat the credit card company. That's another reason why I do not like credit card companies, is because it's not very transparent. They try to hide a lot of things because they're making money off of you not paying your bill on time. The way they portray how much you owe is so confusing. Have you ever looked at your statement? At one day you can look at it and it'll say your balance due is $0. And then next it'll say your account balance. And then it'll have your statement balance. It's so confusing that you don't really know how much do you actually owe? How much do you have to pay? It's really hard to figure that out. Just so you know, pay the balance due. Don't pay the statement balance. Don't pay the minimum. Pay the balance due and you'll be safe. Okay, so another reason I don't like credit cards is because research has shown that when you spend money with plastic, so credit cards or even debit cards in some cases, you are almost guaranteed to spend an average of 16 to 18% more than you would with cash. When you use cash, it triggers the pain sensors in your brain. You legitimately feel pain when you use cash and you spend it. You don't get that same type of reaction when you use plastic. Personal finance is such an emotional process. It's not a mathematical one, so that can lead to a lot of potential problems later on in your financial future. I like to study very successful people, people that have millions and millions of dollars of net worth or even billions of dollars of net worth. Most highly successful people do not use credit cards, and there's a reason. It's another thing to worry about. I am a big fan of simplicity, keeping your life as simple as possible. It gets hard to remember all of the different bills, and it's just another way to set yourself up for failure. So I'm not a big fan of that at all. And the last reason why I completely dislike credit cards is because as an average consumer, it is easy to get completely out of control. So here's a personal story. When I was 18 years old, I did not have financial education. I wish I would have, but I didn't have that. So I did what every 18-year-old thinks they should do: start building your credit. I signed up for this little crappy card. I can't even remember which one it was. And that card, I set the balance. My maximum balance is $250. That was the most I could spend. And I remember I was only putting gas for my car on that card. And it was actually pretty hard to pay off. It's like every time I made a payment, I would immediately put more money on it. And I was constantly making a payment, paying a lot of interest. It was hard to catch up on. So finally, I cut up that card, said, screw it. I had my experience with credit cards. That was a small balance. I can only imagine how easy it is to get out of control when you have a large purchasing power. It's crazy. So be really careful of that kind of stuff. But the main reason why I do not like credit cards is because it's kind of false security. You think that you are doing okay because you have a credit card. So if you have an emergency, you're covered. Right? That's the number one reason I hear why people use a credit card, is because of that and because of mileage. I won't get into mileage today, but eventually I'll blog about that one because that's a really topic that drives me crazy. You're looking at your bank account and your bank account is showing that you might have $3,000 in there, but your credit card shows that you just spent $1,500. So there's a big discrepancy. And unfortunately, the one that we typically go off of is how much money do we have in the bank? And it can get really confusing to track a credit card, how much you put on your credit card, plus how much you put in your bank account. For the average consumer who's not even living on a budget, you have to now do kind of two budgets to track your credit card, and you have to track now your bank statement, your daily purchases. I'm realistic in this way. It's probably not going to happen. I'm almost confident that you probably are not doing a budget currently and living on a budget as religiously as you should. So therefore, let's not worry about credit cards and building credit until we get our personal financial life very much in order. And then when you prove that you can actually manage your money properly, then maybe consider a credit card as an alternative way to fund and build credit or whatever you might try to do with it. Not a necessary way. Get your financial life in order first. Focus on that. Get really good at that. Make sure that you know your budget like the back of your hand, and then you can start worrying about other things. Manage the money that you currently have, and then start worrying about credit cards and credit building and all of that crazy stuff. If you already have a credit card, one of the best ways to manage that credit card currently is to make a pact with yourself that you will not put any money on that whatsoever. The only money that you will put on there is like maybe a Netflix account. Cut up that credit card, charge your Netflix to your credit card. That way it's still going there, and then you can automatically pay the bill. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it and share it with all of your friends. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be sure to go to whitneyhansen.com and sign up to receive my free ebook detailing how I paid off $30,000 in 10 months. And it wasn't with credit cards. Remember, if you want abnormal results, you have to do abnormal things. We'll see you guys next Thursday.